An Airbus A330, operated by Air Transat, takes off from Toronto Pearson International Airport, bound for Lisbon, Portugal. On board are 293 passengers and 13 crew members, expecting a routine overnight flight across the Atlantic. But just past the halfway point, everything starts to unravel. The flight is 5 hours in, cruising at 39,000 feet, when the pilots notice something strange. Their fuel gauges are dropping rapidly. The right engine seems to be losing fuel at an unusual rate. But there's no fuel odor, no warning messages, no alarms. Just instruments quietly reporting something very, very wrong. The pilots suspect a leak. To balance the fuel, they open a crossfeed valve, essentially allowing fuel to flow between the left and right tanks. What they don't realize is that the leak is on the right engine's fuel line. And now, by opening the crossfeed, they've made it worse. Fuel is now leaking from both tanks. They're still hours from land. But now they have a critical decision to make. The captain decides to divert to Lajes Air Base, a remote military airport in the Azores, a group of Portuguese islands in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's the only real option, but it's over 75 miles away. Then it happens. At 6:13 a.m., the right engine flames out. The A330 is down to 1. Minutes later, the left engine dies too. This 400,000-pound jet has now become a glider, 39,000 feet in the air, and still 75 miles from land. No thrust, no hydraulics, just the sound of wind, and the pilots calculating glide angles, descent rates, and the weight of nearly 300 lives depending on them. This isn't training. This isn't a simulator. This is the real thing. In the cabin, flight attendants keep calm. They prep for impact, instructing passengers to brace. The crew doesn't know if the plane will make it, but they're trained to prepare like it won't. The captain, Robert Pichet, and his co-pilot, Dirk de Jager, fly the A330 manually, using its glide ratio and emergency systems to keep it stable. With no thrust, every maneuver has to be perfect, and after nearly 20 minutes of powerless flight, they spot the runway. At 6:45 a.m., the plane slams onto the runway at Lajes Air Base. Tires burst, landing gear collapses, sparks fly. The aircraft skids violently to a stop. But when the dust settles, every single person survives. It is one of the longest engine-out glides ever attempted in commercial aviation. 75 miles. No engines, no fatalities. An investigation would later reveal the cause. A maintenance error. A hydraulic line was mistakenly installed where a fuel line should have been, causing the lines to rub, until one finally ruptured in midair. This wasn't a lucky save. It was professionalism, precision, and calm under impossible pressure. Air Transat 236 didn't just make an emergency landing. They made aviation history,